This is WLWT News 5, leading the way with breaking news.
And we are leading the way with breaking news right now. Last night, 2 injured in an officer-involved shooting that happened on Work Road in Green Township. That started as an abduction. We're going to be getting an update from Cincinnati police officers as well as the mayor that we see set to speak. We do want to warn you, there's a good chance they will be showing body camera video. What you may hear or see may be explicit, so just be aware. Of course, let's start to listen in.
The suspect, along with the suspected abduction victim. I'm here with City Manager Long, Interim Police Chief Adam Henney, Council Member Scotty Johnson, and police leadership from Green Township. We as a city take the loss of life extremely seriously in every circumstance, as well as our commitment under the principles of the collaborative to implement our public process for any officer-involved shooting. With the system we have in place under the collaborative, we are here to ensure transparency and clarity as we move forward. Interim Chief Henney will walk through some footage shortly, as well as the information we are able to provide at this time. But before that, I want to thank our police department and all the first responders for their work to keep surrounding residents safe. When an incident crosses municipal borders, when it results in the use of deadly force, it adds that many more variables and that many more risks for all involved. And I'm beyond grateful that our responders were able to keep the impacted communities as safe and secure as possible. As with every officer-involved shooting, there will be an investigation into this incident, with the Citizen Complaint Authority and CPD running their own parallel investigations. We are committed to a thorough process in accordance with the collaborative, and I'm confident that the CCA, our police department, and our city administration will direct these investigations transparently. Thank you, and I'll now invite City Manager Long to briefly speak before handing it over to Interim Chief Henney.
Good afternoon, and thank you for all being here. I want to echo the mayor's thanks to our officers who always respond in difficult and dangerous situations to keep our community safe. I know many of them worked long into the night to begin the necessary next steps, including preparing the presentation you'll see today. My thoughts and prayers are with all who were involved with and impacted by yesterday's events. While Cincinnati police review what occurred, a critical component of the city's response to an officer-involved shooting is an investigation by the Citizen Complaint Authority. The city is committed to transparency with our community and ensuring this independent investigation moves forward with urgency and collaboration. I want to thank Interim Chief Henney for his leadership throughout this moment and invite him up now to share more details.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First off, my condolences go to the family of the suspect that was involved. None of us ever wake up wanting to be in a situation like this, but unfortunately, sometimes it's our job in order to save lives is to put ourselves in danger and deal with such a catastrophic event. I'm so thankful that the victim that's involved is safe. I'm so happy for the officers that were involved, that they are all safe. And like the city manager and the mayor said, there's going to be a very thorough investigation into this matter. And with the CCA and with the prosecutor's office, we will continue on. Please know that this is just 24 hours into this investigation. The information that I'm going to provide you is extremely limited and narrow, but in order to be transparent with all of you, I wanted to make sure that we got that out to you as soon as possible. Can you go on the next slide, please? So yesterday, approximately about 4 p.m., we received information, a 911 call, that our victim was abducted from her work at Mercy West Hospital at 3300 Mercy Health Boulevard. You need to know that this situation occurred very rapidly, that this victim, this person that was kidnapped, was extremely scared and was able to inform her family through messaging of what occurred. We get a 911 call shortly afterwards explaining to us what occurred and a description of the vehicle. The suspect here was able to push the victim into the passenger seat and actually take her car. So we were looking for the victim's car at this time. Shortly afterwards, officers identified the vehicle and were engaged in a vehicle pursuit. This pursuit lasted for almost 45 minutes, which is a very long time. We did deploy stop sticks. We were able to slow down the vehicle, but not disable it. At what time we ended up at 6667 Work Road, where we were able to utilize the armor from one of our SWAT vehicles to stop the vehicle. At that time is when the officers went to save the hostage and put the suspect into custody. The video that I'm about to show you here is very graphic. Please adjust your cameras accordingly. But this is what occurred once the officers were able to engage the suspect. Go ahead.
Everybody, C5, she good? Check on her.
So just to give you some information on this video, you can hear in the very beginning that there is no audio. If you recall with our body cameras, once we tap that recording, it goes back 30 seconds before it'll get the audio in the video, so you're capturing the audio. What you see here is the suspect exits the vehicle. He then makes an aggressive movement towards this officer here that has the body camera footage with a knife. We had 3 total officers fire their weapons during this encounter. 2 were Cincinnati police officers and 1 was a Green Township police officer. The individual goes towards the Cincinnati police officer. They give him commands to get on the ground and drop the knife. He does not comply with those orders, and at that time they fire their weapons, striking the suspect, and where you see him fall to the ground. Shortly afterwards, he gets back off the ground, starts moving towards the officers once again, and at that time the officers fire several more rounds. And then you see a third time him getting up from the ground, and they continue to fire until the threat has ended. These officers that were involved here, let me back up. Here's a picture of the knife. Go on to the next pitch. A few things to know about the suspect that was involved in this incident. When we were interviewing the victim said that while they were driving around in the car and as he was holding the knife, that he was telling her that he was not going to go to jail. And his comments indirectly were saying it was going to be a suicide by cop. I spoke with the family of the victim, of the suspect today, and unfortunately they relayed to me that this suspect was suffering from multiple mental health issues and has made comments several times to the family that he was not going to go to jail and that if he was to die, it was going to be by the police. This is obviously something that we don't ever want to encounter. Obviously, this is something that we always want to be able to provide help and assistance when someone is suffering through this. But when we have an active hostage situation and we have a situation where someone was kidnapped, we have to take the necessary steps to protect ourselves and make sure that that kidnapped victim is safe. Before I turn it back over to the city manager, this is the suspect that is deceased. As you can see here, he has previous arrest and abduction convictions, aggravated menacing, menacing by stalking. He currently was under a protection order for unlawful restraint. And I'm sorry, for abduction and menacing by stalking, and had 2 misdemeanor warrants. I just wish that this was a situation that could have been handled without this. I wish this was not the way that this individual wanted to do this. But like I said, I am so thankful for the training. I'm so thankful for the bravery of these officers to engage in this situation, their training and their tactics. And I'm so thankful that we had a good conclusion with the victim. And I'm willing to open it up to any questions before I turn it over to Ms. Long.
You said you're right.
Yep.
Okay. Are the suspect and victim known to each other?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And then as far as the abduction part of this goes, did the victim come outside and that's how it happened, or did he make his way into the hospital? How, can you walk us through?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go into that information right now.
At what point does it get to a point in all this when you have to use one of those like SWAT vehicles to stop the car? Because I hadn't really seen that one before.
You know, this is all a active situation. We utilized the tools and the training that we have, and that was what we were able to utilize to stop the vehicle at that time.
Regarding the 3 officers involved, would you be able to identify those officers or provide any details as to what units they were on, length of service?
I will not.
Take us through 45 minutes pursuit. That seems like an eternity. I mean, just how much different was this situation than maybe other pursuit situations that officers have to go through?
Well, we have a very restrictive pursuit policy that we only pursue for violent felonies. Obviously, this falls within that category. I think where the nuance is here is that we had a kidnapping victim in the vehicle, so this was something that we weren't going to just easily give up on. We knew that we had to stop that vehicle and be able to provide safety, and that's why it went on for 45 minutes, because quite frankly that's how long it took for us to stop the car.
Did I hear you correctly? Was it the victim's vehicle that this?
Yes.
Okay. And then as far as all of those charges that the suspect was previously facing, do you know if those are connected to this victim?
I can't release that at this time.
What jurisdiction did those charges happen in, if you're able to share?
I do not have that.
Did officers deploy tasers at any point and other non-lethal weapons?
No.
And obviously, just for those who aren't aware, kind of walk through the situations where you guys are required under policy or recommended to use lethal force compared to a taser, because it's clear in this situation those officers probably warranted lethal.
I'm sorry, repeat the question again?
Like, just kind of talk about, kind of the line you guys have to walk of lethal versus non-lethal in the situations that warrant.
If any time that an officer feels that their life is threatened or the life of an innocent bystander is threatened, we are able to use force, including deadly force, to stop that threat.
And just for extra clarification, that SWAT vehicle, was it like a pit maneuver, or did they kind of block the road and then the vehicle stopped and you got out, or?
Yeah, we are not in the tactics right now. We are just 24 hours into this investigation, and hopefully we'll be able to answer further questions on that later.
You mentioned officers identified the vehicle after the 911 call came in. Did you guys use any flock system that you guys are piloting to do that, or was it just officers coming upon the car and finding it?
I'm not going to get into that information right now.
Last question.
Okay, Ms. Long?
Right.
That's it?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Can we get copies of the video? Yeah, I'll make sure you get it. Awesome. Thank you.
And that was certainly a lengthy conference in which we learned a lot of information from Cincinnati police as well as city leaders. The main takeaway here is the man shot by police Saturday evening has died. So this all started in one of the Cincinnati neighborhoods, the west side of the neighborhood, at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Police there getting a 911 call that a woman had been abducted from her job at Mercy Health West. That woman was able to make connections with her family, saying that she was in trouble via messenger. Police then find this car that's in connection to this chase, to this car that's connected to the abduction rather, and then that's when police said this person did not follow commands, led police on a chase for about 45 minutes. It then stops over in Green Township over on Work Road. Police tried to get this car to stop with stop sticks. That didn't work, but they had armor from the SWAT car that then stopped that car. Then we see from the body camera video, the person gets out of this car. Police said this person was armed with a knife. You have 3 different police officers, 2 connected with Cincinnati police, 1 with Green Township, all firing their weapons. This person, as a result, has died. We did not get the name of that suspect there, and police also have not shared the identities of the police who all fired their weapons. We heard from Interim Police Chief Adam Henney, him saying that they hate that this had to result like this, but he's thankful that the training paid off and that all the officers involved were not hurt. He also says that they spoke with the suspect's family and that this seems to be a suicide by cop situation. Certainly a lot of details to parse through. Our Daisy Kershaw, she was there at that press conference. Of course, she'll have more information on WLWT News 5 at 6. Of course, you can find the latest details on WLWT.com. And now to regular programming.